Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Elizabeth. This is Embracing the Chaos. I guess I should tell you that now. On my channel, I like to embrace the chaos, where it's happening in your life. So I sat down and I was just going to do a general reading, but as I picked up the deck, I was getting ready to start the video. I picked up an energy of someone that was self-sabotaging, possibly a connection of theirs. Now, whether this is you or you could be the one that's self-sabotaging your connection, or someone else could be self-sabotaging the connection that they're having with you. I'm going to be real with you, though. I kind of feel like it's you. I do. So this if it's not, then that's perfectly a-okay. Hey, if it is the other person, then remember the beginning of the video. Okay, so let's jump in and see what's going on. Okay, let's talk about this self-sabotaging energy, shall we? We're going to start with the Angel Oracle. Let's see what the angels have to say about this, okay? See what kind of... We're going to check in with them. I always like to see what they have to say, because sometimes they can give us a different perspective. If we're able to remove ourselves from the situation, set our feelings aside, set ourselves aside, and just look at things objectively. I mean, that's the whole point of tarot, right? To be able to look at things objectively with not putting our intended emotions or things involved in it, okay? And that is the whole point of this reading, is we're going to set aside certain energies that could create some kind of blockages within what we really need to see or we really need to understand. Okay? Okay. So you know the rules of tarot. Take what resonates and you leave what does not. If it doesn't apply, then we simply let it fly. Flip it, switch it, stick it, but we don't force anything to fit any type of way. Okay, let's see what the angels have to say first. Conflict. So there's been some kind of conflict between you and someone else. Obviously, the connection. And somebody's reinforcing or has reinforced their walls. But here's the thing of it. Something has gone unnoticed. The energy is really fluctuating, and I feel a little bit of resistance, like we're not wanting to open that door. We're not wanting to allow that in, but it's already there. It's like we started building up these walls. We put these walls up, but we didn't realize that there was something sitting over there in the corner just idly waiting to be found. And it looks to me like whatever was idly waiting is now being presented, or it's actually being brought to the forefront. So someone's noticed it and is bringing it in. So maybe a part of you is actually stepped into a place where now you're being more observant of your environment, things that are going around with you. You put your walls up because you wanted to protect yourself from the outside energies, okay? And I'm seeing an energy of the unknown is about to be made known. The parts that we are wanting to keep hidden. Maybe we knew it was there and we just kept it pushed back. We were trying to keep it hidden. Maybe we draped it over. I kind of get an energy of like draping over a sheet over the top of it so we don't see it. So out of sight, out of mind kind of deal. We're not wanting to deal with that. It's something that needs to be brought into balance. It could create a lot of justice in the situation. They're saying that it's going to require one to evolve and grow past actually seeing this, because it's going to make you feel very uncomfortable. But it will set you free. It will set you free. Love. So they're saying that you tried to deny. Maybe someone tried to deny that there was love in the situation. If we allow ourselves to feel this, we allow ourselves to see this, to uncover this, to allow it to consume, and not in a way that it's controlling, but allow it to surface, allow it to come up, and allow it to fully be seen, like all facets of it, you know. It does require love to be brought to the situation. It does require you to see the love. So it was disguised as something that was not, it was meant to be taken in a loving way. It came from a good place. So whatever was hidden back off in the corner, maybe you didn't put that off in the corner, maybe someone else did, and they left it over there, and you were so concerned about putting up your walls, building up your fortress, that you didn't consciously, you weren't aware of it. That's what I'm getting. You weren't consciously aware that it was sitting over there. It was meant for you to be seen. It was meant to be seen in a loving way. And because we were hypervigilant and really focused on protecting ourselves, maybe we didn't view it as a loving way. I hear a bird. Discretion. Yeah. So they're saying with the discretion card, it did have a slow burn. It's like, I'm getting an energy of like a candle that was dimly lit. It had a very small flame, but it was disguised to look that way. It was meant to look non-threatening, because it wasn't threatening at all. But it's like the longer it sat there, the more the wax dissolved, the more the higher the flames started to build. And by that point, the wall had already been built up, right? So I understand that needing to really see that someone here in this space that you're sharing this space with was really trying to be heard, but not in the way that you felt, or the reason why you were defensive towards this loving gesture. It was like a loving gesture, a loving comment. It could have been, there's something working in the background. So, I mean, if you push this out of your mind and you push this away and you weren't really focused on it, it's been working its way to the forefront. And now that's why we're seeing it here. It's making itself be known to you, because of the resistance that you were experiencing with it, or that you were giving towards it, or that you weren't trying to experience it. You weren't wanting to experience it, because it was, whatever happened between the two of you was it hurt. It was wounding. It wounded you. And I feel like I feel like someone here really wasn't wanting to open things up in this area because it was uncomfortable. And so we sabotaged it because we knew what it was going to be required of us. There was a talk. There was something that had to be said. And had you been vulnerable with this person in the past, maybe something happened. You know, there's things that can happen that can betray one's trust, where they not feel comfortable, where maybe you didn't feel comfortable in having this connection, or having this conversation within this connection, in order to be opened up about it, because of the things that had happened in the past that had betrayed you enough to the point that you felt the need to put up your walls and not allow that energy or allow that space or allow that transaction to take place between you and this individual. And that's what they're saying. So I speak on the daily to the angels. I speak on the daily to my deities. I speak on the daily to other deities for other individuals so that I can help facilitate them in the things that they're growing. And I do feel like in this space, it's going to sting. It's going to sting when the messages actually, you start to see the big picture, when you realize that it was there the whole time. But that's the point. The whole reason why you and I are having this conversation right now is because one needs to be aware that their guides have delivered a message here and they have successfully made contact. And that's why you're viewing this video, is so that you and I can work through those energies and better understand exactly what's going on. And yeah. Okay, let's pull some tarot. We're going to use the Mirror of Crows to help facilitate us in this here reading. Ace of Wands, yeah? Seven of Wands. Seeing this, observing this, experiencing this is definitely going to put you on the defensive. Mm-hmm. If you're someone that truly believes that you stand on business, you do. You do. And I see your point. I understand your point, and I know where you're coming from. I totally get it. I understand why you became defensive. I get it. You became defensive because of what had happened in the past. But I'm being guided to ask you, did you truly forgive them for that? Or are you holding them accountable for that? For something in the past still? Because it feels like to me, there's a part of you that did forgive them. Yes, absolutely. You're fully aware. You're an energy. You've been on the healing journey for a long enough time, a long enough process, that you're fully aware that it will require you to give at least some form of forgiveness in order to move past this. But I feel like the resistance comes in because we didn't fully forgive. But that's because we don't feel like that person truly understands the weight of that betrayal. So instead of having that conversation, instead of opening that wound, we sabotaged it. The Hierophant. You could have blocked yourself from learning the lesson, to seeing the lesson in it. Love is about forgiveness. If anything, that's what it embodies. Compassion. You have to, especially when you're healing and the other party's healing. I mean, it's about forgiveness. I feel like this person was wanting to forgive, or maybe you were wanting to forgive, but because of some kind of belief system, maybe we're trying to protect a belief system, the way that we believe. And if we accepted what the idea or the initial conversation, then that would require us to have to lay down arms, you know? And I feel like, if you really want to know the truth, that you were so wounded by the betrayal in the past that you weren't ready for this. And maybe you didn't see this. Maybe you felt like you were ready. You thought you were ready. You thought you had healed enough from it. But I don't feel like you were. And this is about you being able to see that about yourself. That you could have been hell-bent on what you believed rather than being open to the idea of it being something else. And maybe they were too, you know? I do feel like there has to be an equal reciprocity when it comes to this and forgiveness, okay? I truthfully, this person's never going to be able to fully forgive them if you're not able to fully forgive them. Because this is a really, really intense bond that you have with us. This is a really, really high level. It's a high level connection here. And it does require both parties to be fully seen by the other. But if one or both of you are resistant to allowing the other to be heard and to be seen, then you're always going to run into conflict. You're always going to run into conflict. So if the communication, the Ace of Wands can be, needing to communicate or accepting that communication needed to transpire, and we didn't feel comfortable doing that. Nothing's set in stone. I mean, there's always the possibility to resolve this between you and this person. Are you experiencing some kind of indigestion? Because I don't get indigestion, but something keeps bubbling. Maybe something's, I feel like it's breaking, something's being broken up in the lower chakras. That's what it is. As we sit with this energy, as we go through this, as we work through this together, it's breaking things up. It's categorizing. It's understanding. It's working things out. Yeah, and it's definitely uncomfortable. And so your body's probably speaking to you. Some kind of belief system was controlling it. Someone's belief system. This is someone that's really wants to move into a place where they can stand up for the connection. They want to stand up for the connection. You want to stand up for the connection. This is an Emperor energy. This is someone that's embodying Emperor energy here. That is fully committed. Fully committed. Maybe we weren't able to see that. Maybe you weren't able to see that this person was your Emperor. Can't freaking make it up. Empress with the Page of Wands. Can't fucking make it up. Looks like you're going to be reflecting on this. Looks like you're healing something within yourself. You're bringing something into its balance. You're balancing something within yourself. You're being more stable. Because there's a repeated pattern that seems to be happening between you and this this connection, the lovers. I see that you do want to move in that direction, but you're blocking yourself from committing yourself to this Emperor energy. Why? Why are you blocking yourself? That's the sabotage. That's where you're sabotaging the connection. Knight of Wands, the Sun. The Knight of Wands is non-committal. There's something here. That's a non-committal. So you acted out of impulse. Some kind of impulsive action possibly needs to be seen. You could have acted a little bit out of impulse here. Tell me about the Knight of Wands. Three of Pentacles, yeah. Or Page of Pentacles. You already have an idea of what that is. Now, whether or not you're wanting to actually see that, the light's being shown on that as we discuss this. We're working through that energy. I'm feeling the Three of Pentacles. I'm feeling that that energy of a toss-up, like we're going back and forth between the two, and we're right in the middle. We're needing to see it's right in the middle. It's in between those two. Somebody could ride a motorcycle. Justice. Okay, just one second. I'm going to pause this. Hold on. Okay, so as I was taking care of what I need to take care of, we're needing to see how to bring this non-committal energy. Why are we not wanting to commit? What is the reasoning? Maybe we're needing to ask ourselves, why are we not wanting to commit to this? Because what's being offered, you're being offered something that is honest, something that is dependable, that is wanting to create balance. But there's some kind of non-committal energy here that we're needing to see. So let's find out. Tell me about this Knight of Wands, please. Ten of Cups. Right. Four of Swords. The Four of Cups. I really, I feel like it's not really about, it is a little bit of non-committal, but it's more impulsive. There's a possibility that because we have the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Swords with the Four of Cups. The Ten of Cups, Four Swords, the Four of Cups. You could see, it's needing to see, I feel like it's needing to see that this person is just as non-committal as you, or has been in the past. That's why it's difficult to navigate. That's why I'm struggling to see it, because both of you in the past had your walls up so damn high that neither one of you would commit. But both of you desire it. You desire it. I see the desire. So it's about just needing to commit oneself to feeling emotionally fulfilled and not focusing on the negative. Not focusing so much on what's happened in the past. Allow that to stay in the past and really just focus on the connection between the two of you right now. I feel like what happened in the past will resolve itself. It will heal itself over time. But it's going to take both of you being in a place where things are fluid between the two of you before you can even attempt to have that conversation. It has the potential to heal. It has so much potential. Looks like you're going to struggle with this for a minute. You've been struggling with this for a minute. You're having some kind of... Is it a winning at all cost mentality? Is that the reason why it's like both of you do show signs of that? But it's about the perception of it. So like really needing to understand that both of you are not necessarily trying to win, but rather trying to be seen and heard from their place. So this is ongoing. This is ongoing. The lack of communication. Because one or the other or both are triggered in a situation. You get triggered, and instead of remembering what it's all for, remembering why you're in the connection with one another, you both result to conflict. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Instead of offering a stable place for the two of you to meet, to converse about things. So I feel like it's not necessarily about not wanting to commit, but it's about taking impulsive actions when we're triggered. And instead of allowing the conflict to come up, to rise up, and then to be released, so not necessarily talking about it right then and there, especially if you're both triggered in some way. So I feel like what would really work in the situation, if this resonates for you, what would really work and what they're guiding me to say is, like, when you're triggered, it's like both of you are going to have to come to some kind of understanding, because you can tell when the other one's triggered. Come on. Hello. You can tell this. So instead of taking impulsive action because we've been triggered, instead of pushing for the other to communicate, agreeing to both share the same space without saying a word. Allow that energy to come up, allow it to leave, allow it to be released. And then once both of you, or whoever's triggered, is calm within, if that's the right time to talk about it, then talk about it. If not, then it's like upholding, having a mutual agreement between the two of you that whoever wasn't triggered, to remind the other. It's like you're gonna have to ant up. You're gonna have to, buck up here. If you're truly wanting this connection to move forward. Well, my lovelies, that's what I got. That's what I got. And for those of you that do not want to work things out, there is something else in the ethers that is moving its way towards you. I've seen it in the cards. You could be already aware of that. You feel it as well. So there it is. But I mean, I don't know what to say. I hope this helps you. I truly do. And until we meet again, toodaloo.